Hi, Democrats. Today is Friday, October 7th, and it's time for the Chair's Daily Life. Happy Friday. Okay, it is October 7th. October 7th. And before I forget, I want to say this out loud. We are in the beginning, the first week of Hispanic Heritage Month. Please get out there and learn more about your Hispanic neighbors and friends and the accomplishments that Hispanics have contributed to our society. And this weekend is a long weekend, right? It's the long weekend because Monday is Indigenous Peoples Day, and there are going to be festivals all over the state where you can go and learn more about the contributions to Indigenous peoples to our society as well. So I wanted to get those out there so that I don't forget. I keep writing them down and I keep forgetting to say them. So it's October 7th. It has been 1 year since Superintendent of Public Instruction Joy Hoffmeister got in the race for governor. 1 year ago, she announced that she was running for governor in the state of Oklahoma as a Democrat. And there was all the fallout and all of the stuff, but here we are a year later. She's out making speeches and having conversations and proving the fact that she has come over to the Democrat side and is at this moment in a dead heat against an incumbent governor in a state that typically votes for the other side. So it's a lot. And so because Superintendent Hoffmeister is in the running to be governor, Hoffmeister, and is at a dead heat, which makes it possible, our current governor is having a little bit of a meltdown. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not using clinical terms. Meltdown. So he's come out in the last couple of days attacking Griffin Communications. Griffin Communications has scheduled, and I've known about it for a month, has scheduled a debate between a gubernatorial debate for all of the candidates on October 19th. AT&T got me again. So the governor has lashed out against Griffin Communication about, saying basically that they're threatening to release a bad article about him with no provocation. No one can find any information about why he's saying it or any proof of what he's alleging. So there's that. Now, if you read the whole thing, he's alleging that they have a poll that shows him losing. That is what's going on here. He is mad that there's a poll out there that shows him losing. He is getting nervous and he is desperate. Hear me. If you're not helping a candidate right now, pick a couple of candidates to help because we have a shot. The Republicans are getting nervous. They're getting nervous and they're making unintentional fouls. They're hurting themselves. Now's the time for us to get out there and do the work. This a beautiful weather weekend planned. Get out there, help a couple of candidates. So he attacked Griffin Communication. Then today, his team, not Carly, but his campaign team, put out a statement basically saying, well, why aren't they doing any investigative journalism on the other side? They keep finding all of our crimes, but what about the other side? How pitiful and pathetic. How pitiful and pathetic. Run your race, sir. Just run your race. What this is demonstrating is that he doesn't have a race to run. He thought he was just going to be able to coast in because he's a Republican. He has an R in front of his name, and it was just going to happen. But what has happened is we have a real candidate that's running against him and putting up a fight, a real candidate that folks are being drawn to. And so instead of continuing to run, even with those ridiculous commercials about how he was right, he's losing ground. And they're getting worried. And so now they're just attacking everybody and flailing when what they need to be doing is focusing on, because here's the reality. He's still the governor. How about you govern, sir? How about you govern? So he's telling us who he is. If we haven't learned who he is in the last 3.5 years, he's reminding us in this last little stretch that he is a tantrum thrower who feels entitled to that office. Let's do everything we can to make sure that he understands that it's up to us to vote him in. It's up to us to pick who our leaders are. And when our leaders show us who they are to be a disappointment, when they prove themselves to be a disappointment, it is up to us to vote them out. And we are this close. So find a candidate, pick a candidate, and help them with your time, your talent, your treasure. Get out there. We have 32 days to really make a difference. There are some folks, including me, some folks who already have their ballots. So we need to make sure that we are talking to those people, especially so that we encourage them to vote in a way that moves our state forward. So I talked about him attacking Griffin Communication, who traditionally leans right. Talked to him about attacking OKC Fox. He vetoed arts. The current governor, our legislators met last week to allocate some of the ARPA funds, how we're going to spend funds, and they allocated some money towards OETA. They allocated some money towards the Arts Council, and they allocated some money towards the warning system. The little siren that goes off where they test the tornado warning system. He vetoed the money for those three programs. No, he vetoed additional money for OETA. He's basically banning Big Bird. The warning system, no more money for the warning system. Let's hope we're not Florida. Let's hope that we don't stop putting money in the warning system and then end up with a tornado, just like Florida said nobody needs to get any money for hurricanes, and then they got a hurricane. Let's hope we're not in that same situation. And then the Arts Council. Why pick on the Arts Council? And I guess because he got tired of picking on trans kids. I'm not real sure what's going on. The current governor is flailing. The current governor is drowning. And the current governor actually recognizes the point that he could lose this race. Now it's up to those who are listening to me and those who know people who would listen to me to make sure that he doesn't win, to make sure that he gets to go back to being the president, CEO, whatever he is of Gateway Mortgage, and now Gateway Bank. Let's send him back to the private sector and elect someone who actually cares about what makes Oklahoma good, right? So you know who our governor candidate is. Joy Hoffmeister. If you care about education, Gina Nelson. If you care about the safety net, because here's the thing, everybody's talking about Stitt versus Hoffmeister, which is important. But we also need to make sure that we have the safety net. We can't leave Matt Pinnell in there just to be there countering everything that Hoffmeister does. We need to get a Democrat lieutenant governor in there to support the programs that Governor Hoffmeister puts in, and that is Melinda Elizadeh Fard. We need to make sure that if we elect a Democratic governor, that she has the best shot of getting her programs in. So that's a Democrat lieutenant governor, and we need to add more Democrats to our state legislature. So if you've not been paying attention to the state house races or your state house race, print off your sample ballot, find out who your house candidate is, and support them. Find out who your state Senate candidate is if you have a state Senate candidate on the ballot, and support them, because this stuff ends up being decided. The purse strings are held by our state legislature. So we got to pay attention to those races as well. Pick a candidate. Pick a federal candidate, pick a statewide, and pick a state legislative candidate. Pick those candidates. I don't know what just happened there. Pick candidates from all of those things. Figure out a way to help them. Write postcards, phone bank, drop off signs, drive them around while they knock doors. Figure out, donate money. Figure out a way to help some candidates, because we have a real shot to change what our legislature looks like this year. We have a real shot to change this one-party rule that Oklahoma has been mired in for the last 10 years. We have a real shot, but it only happens if we all show up. So educate yourself, educate everyone around you, and make a plan yourself and help 10 other people make a plan to show up to vote. All righty. You guys have a great weekend. Help some candidates. Go to Hispanic Fest, go to some Native American Fest. All of that's happening this weekend. Help some candidates. And I'll be back here Tuesday at 4:15. You guys have a great one.